All right, this is Doug on Wheels, and we're here with Wally at the Airstream mothership. Wally, what'd you think of the clips? Me too. I liked it. It was amazing. Yeah. So we just toured the factory, and I'm going to give you kind of a recap of that, taking a look at what you can see on the assembly line, and then we're going to take a look at the museum too. So stay tuned. All right, we'll take a look up here. There's an observation area for you to look over the line, and I have a little bit of video I'll patch in just a minute on us touring the factory. So to give you orientation, this is the welcome area coming in, coffee shop on the left or as you come in. Museum is off to the left also at the front. And here we are up an observation area. So this plant is shaped like a ginormous L assembly line. So chassis and bodies are just through those doors getting assembled. And now they're getting ready to kind of test the electronics. And here they're testing the electronics before they turn the corner, and everything headed up the line is headed toward those doors at the very far end where exit is taking place. So all of your upfit is happening here of the interiors. And the further you go, the more is getting installed. He said the most intensive area, the tour guide, for them is the area doing cabinetry, which is about halfway up the line. In fact, you can see some of the plumbing, and in an area here, a test area for testing for any leaks in the plumbing system. I liked it at the very end of the tour how he was noting that they have a triage area. So anything that is going to take more than an hour to fix gets pulled off to one of the doors, like you can see at the very end there. And it's getting kind of their ER treatment for things that might take, you know, like replacing a whole refrigerator or something like that that isn't working. But one of the other areas that was pretty neat to note is this trailer that's just below us right here. There are 4 lines that are going through the whole factory. So all the way from back through those doors where chassis are married to bodies, and then bodies are fitted with all of their overhead equipment on catwalks. Then they come through here, and you can see 4 lines, but there's this one nearest us, which has really only one trailer on the line, this one here. That's a European line, so the first the 3 furthest are for the US. The one that is nearest is for units that are heading to Europe, and meaning that that's a 7.5 foot wide Airstream. I pull a narrow body 68, and I can tell you I love having that narrow body. I might think it would be a good thing just to order the European edition. So every model that's coming through here is custom ordered, and so it's being assembled just for a customer or for the factory or for a dealership. And you can tell that's a highly custom unit that is out here. Lots of solar being put on, a specialty GE air conditioner being put on. It's got the hatch as well. Boy, that was neat seeing those hatches being assembled. It was also neat getting to see that they're still doing the massive soaking test. And if you can look right here, I'll try to zoom in. Those doors are actually, you can see a trailer being moved in right now into the wet room that is going to have doors shut, and then it'll be run through its cycle. And it looks just like those videos from the probably 1970s that show it soaking it. So a woman gets inside of that and waits for it to run through its cycle. Something like 23 inches of water is dumped on it, and they do them much longer than they used to because there's a lot more holes in Airstreams for there to be water penetration there used to be. So that was pretty neat to get to see on the tour. In fact, there's a tour group watching it right now. So, neat. I guess the thing they were saying is this factory has just been really at the point where they can say that they're up and fully running. It's 700,000 square feet, up from the 250,000 square foot facility that they had, and it puts everything under one roof now, the entire plant. So, well, that's all I think you need to know about that. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the museum.
Or rather, the out of town. You see, us clippers were built custom fit to each customer's specific wants, needs, or desires. They called me the all-metal airplane without wings. Boy, was I ever proud. I was even built out of duraluminum, the same as the aircraft of my day. I'm practically one of a kind. Not mid-world. We were owned by the President of Mexico. We toured with Hollywood celebrities. I myself traveled across the U.S. for many years before returning home. I've been alone in my 83 years, a lot more than some everywhere. Now they call me a classic being, a testament to Walter's design.
Wow, I love these windows.
I've slowed down my old age, settled into a comfortable retirement, if you will.
Look at these beautiful
Because I know each and every one of them.
protectors for the windows. Storage doors in the front.
I've seen a lot in my
A
time.
pole frame through its center.
Innumerable places. But what about you? Where will you go?
No. Look at the beautiful woodwork. Oh my, that is fantastic. Gotta love the shades. And then the back is the kitchen. Try and zoom in on that. Can't really see much. Cabinet door open. Guess they're all open. This is 1938 Clipper. Well, that is iconic. So I'm going to do a little kind of walkthrough. This I will call the Mandalorian camper. And I'm pretty sure that Star Wars must have, for their Mandalorian series, seen this and thought, well, you know what? It's the Creed. And I promise you, while walking through the Airstream plant, they said, it's the Airstream way. So, well, the Creed, Mandalorian, and the way. There we go. Let's kind of walk through here. This is fun. This is the kind of recreation of the scene where the guy is the advertising thing that they did with this European bike rider. And this is not the right camper. This is a 1949. It was actually in 1947 that he was behind, but they look a lot alike. Yesterday, while at the Airstream rally here in Greenville, Ohio, I met a fellow who owns an unrestored 1947 Airstream that he's wanting to sell that has never been restored. Pretty cool. We'll take a peek inside. Of course, just some noteworthy. This is a bed in the back, aluminum cabinets. Don't know about the blue light. Aluminum interior. Love the riveted end cap. Aluminum as well on the buffet. Neat little heater. And I'll kind of point this back this way. Let's see here. Cabinetry. And again, all the aluminum stuff above, including, I love the punched aluminum cabinet work here. Isn't that neat? That's cool. We'll go ahead and walk over here. Early Airstream. 1938 Aerolite. I'd love to build one of these in retirement. It's basically aluminum over a plywood. So it's not buck riveted. It's actually aluminum panels that are screwed onto this plywood, and that was not uncommon back in the day. A couple things of note: this one's never been restored. It has the original vinyl on it. Love that. Has this car-esque seat. I can just tell that would be like getting in a 1930s car. The Magic Chef butane stove. Buffet at the back. Wonderful bit of cabinetry here. We'll look through the front. Couple little neat details I was seeing. One is this Airstream logo. Love this eyebrowed protector, rain protector for the back window. This vintage plate here is fantastic. And vintage kind of turn signal. Of course, you had to add something later on, and those are later added. Tail lights. But I love the tuck under on this. And we'll look through the front. So if you would note, early Airstreams are on a single spine frame that ran down the middle with ribs going left and right. Someone tried to stabilize this with these stabilizers to keep it from shifting as going down the road, and it did not work as a feature. It just tore holes into that and made a mess of it. I don't think that's original. Could be wrong. This is a 1948 Wee Wind. This one's kind of fun also unrestored, and it has some really neat national park stuff on it. Here's Zion National Park. There's Bryce Canyon. And inside, we'll take a peek. Here's Grand Canyon. Inside, look at the vintage pillow collection from their park visits. Yosemite, Montana, Denver, Arizona, Yellowstone, Mount Rainier in the back. Beautiful cabinetry that was done in aluminum. But here now, wood cabinetry, a lot like the 49 we were looking at on the other side. And we'll look in the front window. I don't know if the pink was original, but it's fun. Here's the 13 panel finned front. So this has been built in California. Whale-tailed clip. And there we go. What a fun unit. I'm going to zoom in just for a moment so you can see some of those vintage pillows. And what amazing fabric. Also kind of fun as we look down here at the pole frame. Look at the gas tank. So fun. Love that. Wee Wind. We'll turn around now. Take a look at this. Airstream. Much filmed, much looked at. 1949 Whirlwind. That's probably 31 feet, would be my guess. No longer with the Mandalorian front, but you can tell the 13-panel front. Double door. I know Mary would love that, right? You like the double door? Yeah, now that is a buffet or banquette. That's a probably 6-foot banquette. So it's a double bed.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a double bed for folks. Nice built-in cabinetry. A solid end panel. Nope. Not solid. It's riveted. A long, long camper. Not sure what's in the back, though. Take that. Look at that. But obviously sleeping in the front. Kitchen just off to the left. You got your heater here, penetrating up and through the roof. And this is buck riveted. Now we're in, of course, the one that we looked at before was buck riveted as well. You really can't see in it, but just love this detail at the back. Some of the lighting. There's the pole frame coming back out under the frame. There's some of those bullet reverse lights. All right, we'll move on. There we go. Now that is famous. That is Wally Bynum's 1957 World Traveler, his gold Airstream. There's a great video. I'll see if I can put a link on it to the folks that restored this and did such an amazing job on it and sold it to the museum. But Stella Bynum and Wally on the side. The International. Boy, this is iconic. Beautifully redone restoration. How this company ever let this get out of their hands, I'll never know. Oh, love the globe. Come on. How wonderful. One little detail. Love the light fixture at the top. How about that? Here's a gas lantern. So this, of course, was an experimentation trailer for him. And one that was used as a publicity instrument. 1957, Stella with its Ohio plate on it. Next to it is a 1957 unrestored Airstream. You can really get a look at some of their neat logo work. I did a video also on a Avion that was at a Christmas, used as a Christmas sales office, and they had theirs on it, but this is dating back to 1955, Mexico. Different caravans that this has been on, including this was on the Africa. Oh my goodness, look at their caravan painting there. How amazing. Well, these folks were troopers, and this trailer has seen the world. An Airstream bubble. Oh, look at the flecked paint. Wow, that was a thing. Not a good thing, but it was a thing. I can remember a Scotty we had growing up with flecked paint, and it just dropped it all over you. Maybe this held up better. How about that for an amazing trailer? I bet that thing has seen some kind of abuse. Look at the hail damage on the top, the dent on the top. All kinds of hail damage. Great big cooking griddle that's been added to the top now because of a hit. Here's a 1963 Airstream Bambi. Yes, the little trailers everyone wants, isn't it? And it's easier for a museum, I'm guessing, to keep them. We'll go ahead and fisheye lens this. Neat collection of badges and memorabilia. Yep. This is Virgil and Grace Golden's land yacht, 1963 land yacht. And it has the original kind of where they went. And they were another one of these that went through all the different caravans and listed all of the countries that they went to. I like that Honolulu is listed as a country on this. So this one, like the others, has seen some fair abuse. Oh yeah, that feels 60s, doesn't it? Look at that. It's like an RV full at the back. Skylight above, great light. Love the fixture. Speckled paint. It's a double axle with a ducktail that I still enjoy on our 68 that we have, but with the narrower lights. Lovely. Okay, we'll go over to the white painted Wally B that is over here. The 1960 Wally B. Prototype. Wow. It's a naked fiberglass interior. I mean, you can see the fiberglass work on the inside. Historically unfinished prototype, 1960. Now this is the hearse edition of Airstream. I'm not sure how many of these were produced, but this is a 1986 Airstream funeral coach. Now if you wanted a plush ride that people would be dying to take, this would be it. Da-da-da. There's the casket location. They needed rollers. Here's where your flowers would go. Maybe it's an early rear entrance prototype. Let's look at the limousine interior on this, so that the family could go ahead and ride with their loved one. Looks like you could fit a good number of people. Well, wonderful ceiling. Look at the fabric ceiling. So in '79 they introduced it says a Class A motorhome line. This one though was used like 24 to 35 feet, seating 14, a casket, 20 basket of flowers, 32 units were produced between 81 and 91, and cost was $85,000. Here's an Argosy for the Argosy lovers. It's a 1953 Wally Bynum Holiday. One of the few flat-sided, or 1954, one of the few flat-sided Airstreams. Says it was inspired by his trip to Denmark, where he looked at the well laid out European campers and did this as a short run of trailers in the 50s. (1954-55), so sort of a prototype short run. Feels wide, wider than many. Well, we're gonna go and take a look at a couple more trailers before we get out of the museum. Before we leave the museum, we're gonna tour a couple of final trailers. This is the famous white Airstream, 1955 Airstream cruiser, and it was Wally and Stella's. Beautifully restored, and I could have been wrong earlier. I'll put a note if I was. This may have been the one that there's a video on, the folks that restored this, and it has all of the caravans that this one has seen during its life. Look at the crank louver windows down the side. Number one. Sorry about the difficulty with filming. A lot of history made in this and with this trailer. Beautiful.
You know, sometimes it's good for you.
All right. I might be more interested in the thing that's on the back. Look at that. There's a gas-powered, or an early e-bike, maybe you would call it. Look at the light on the front of that. Single piston. A step through. All right. We'll finish with this beauty. This is a 1941 Airstream Clipper on loan from the Gully Museum collection. A wonderful museum I really want to go to someday. And he's quite the collector of the most rare of rare Airstreams. Or I would say preserver. And this beautiful Clipper is so stunning. Oh, okay, no video is going to do this justice. How beautiful this is. From stem to stern. Gorgeous, gorgeous restoration. Okay. Literally, my breath is taken away with this camper. I love the artwork on the wall. We'll take a peek through a back window. I like how its plate is old grandma. What do you think of this restoration? It is so gorgeous. Oh, look at the back wall of this. Windows. Going down the whole length, you have 6 windows. It is so so well done. Ouch. Okay, one last little look at another one of the Grand Caravanners, the Wright family. This is Mart and Jenny and daughter Diane in their beautiful camper that did some of the world tours. (1955). I'm going to do just a little bit deeper dive on this while I have a minute. Look at these reverse brakes. You sure don't want to go near anything you could possibly hook, but it does have inner routing for cabling. That's pretty slick. Here's your throttle for the control. Choke here. Cantilevered brakes, which is a good idea basically because you have a motorcycle. Here's the flaps. You have a center stand kickstand, very European. Okay, a couple little notes about the trailer. Let's take a look at it. Bathtub to the right, toilet to the left, and moving forward, if you can see here, in the kitchen area at the front, there's sink to the right or left, stove and refrigerator to the right. It's probably only 3 feet deep at the front cap. Nice bedroom doors, sliding doors here. Well, that's it for our tour of the Airstream mothership, where 1,200 people are working here to produce the next generation of Airstreams. So we're headed back home, but I hope you'll subscribe, like, even share this. I know it's just another visit to the museum and to the factory, but it is our visit, and it's been a wonderful one. Hey, God bless you and take care. Hey, this is Doug on Wheels, and we're here at the Airstream mothership, and we're going to be doing a tour along with our folks now who are with us from the rally that we've been on at the Dark Side of the Moon rally in Dark County near Greenville, Ohio. So here we are in Jackson, What is it?
Jackson Center.
You might want to start that.
Of course, he's gonna get on the bike. Are you gonna sit?
No, you don't sit.
You don't sit. What?
On the drops. He's on the drops, isn't he? Yeah.
Okay. Where's he going?
That way.